Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm going to be giving you part 8 of What If Naruto Was Given a Second Chance. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto. Learn the clone secret in the beginning, and enjoy that guys. And later on, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Got His Memory sealed away, so stay tuned for that and I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm also going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Was Raised by the Hyuga clan on this channel, so stay tuned for that and I hope you guys enjoy as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talk back to all of you. So without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off. After seeing the training that Kakashi was giving the team, Naruto decided to go off and train by himself, saying that he already know how to do this. As Kakashi told him not to push himself out there, Naruto nodded as he waved off. Hours later, Naruto was sleeping in the clearing as Haku came upon him. As Haku realized that this was one of the boy who caused Reiga and Zabuza-sama trouble. So the best thing to do right now is get him out of the way. But Haku couldn't just kill him, as Haku was never one prone to kill. Shaking him awake, Naruto opened his eyes. He looked cute and all, but Naruto told him that he wasn't really into guys, before Naruto tackled him down to the ground. As Naruto placed a seal on Haku's back without him noticing, telling him that he know that he's working for Zabuza. Haku was surprised, as Naruto then noticed something as he started to pat Haku on the chest, making Haku's face became incredibly red as she kicked him right in the nuts, making him lean off, as Naruto started to curse bloody murder as he rolled on the ground, as Haku went into a defensive stance. After a while, Naruto cooled down as he got up. Waving a single hand sign, Haku was pulled down to the ground and unable to move, as Haku wondered what the hell happened, as Naruto informed her that he placed a seal on her back without her noticing, realized that she couldn't even move, as she realized that he could end her life at any moment necessary. But Naruto told her that he wouldn't kill her, in fact he's here to help. As he released the seal, Haku was surprised. Why would he help the enemy? Seeing that he released her, she told him that he could just leave here right now, and they wouldn't have to kill him. As Naruto told her, well, he could just give her the information about the bridge builder and they could take him out without any hassle. All she has to do is give him a kiss. Haku was surprised he would jeopardize the mission and everything for just a simple kiss. Before she could argue any further, he pulled her into a deep, passionate kiss, as his arms roamed around her body. She felt herself leaning into the kiss before he broke it, as he started to walk away as she asked him for the information, but he told her that he lied, as he told her that he still promised that they won't die. The days then passed, as they were going to the bridge. Naruto set seals around the house, in case anyone comes here. As the group went to the bridge, as Tazuna was shocked as he saw his man out cold on the bridge, as he checked one of their pulse to see that they were still alive. It was then that Reiga appeared and tried to slice Naruto to pieces, blocking under the attack. As back at the house, two members went there. Two thugs belonged to Gato to kidnap Tazuna's family, but a rather disruptive, explosive seal grabbed the both of them and tore their body to pieces. As back on the bridge, Naruto was facing off against Reiga. He had his mask on. Reiga might be strong and considered to be an A-rank criminal, but that was overhyped just because he was a member of 7 Ninja Swordsman. Utilizing his Sage mode, Naruto was much faster and stronger as he was able to crush Reiga under his might. He was really overhyped, as Naruto had to step in and save Sasuke from getting cut down by Haku, as Sasuke had awakened his Sharingan, but he was still no match. As Naruto told Haku if she didn't let down this prison, Zabuza was going to die, Feeling the dread of Zabuza being in trouble, she break the prison. As they arrived just in time. As Goto arrived on the bridge with his man, it was then that Kakashi noticed a clone of Naruto smirking to Naruto as he then poofed away. Naruto went through one single hand sign as all the thugs were pulled on the bridge with a crash. As he walked over and flared his chakra on Goto's back, lifting the man and throwing him straight over towards the people who had gathered by Inari. As the thugs started to retreat after Naruto told them that if they don't run now he will crush them all. As Haku told him that they might just come back and try to take over the village knowing that Goto is not here anymore. They would try to use their numbers. But Naruto had a plan for that as he waved one hand sign. Explosive tags were all around the boats as they exploded into the water, blowing up all the thugs. After that was over, Naruto smiled as he turned towards Haku. She thanked him for his help, but Naruto told her one for the road as he pulled her into a kiss in front of everyone, shocking them. So yeah guys, it was basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say we begin this new episode? Naruto broke the kiss to a rather flustered Haku. Everyone still couldn't believe what they saw, as they were having different emotions. Zabuza was pissed, seeing Haku as a daughter, and this kid, as he clutched onto his blade. Kakashi wasn't much surprised after hearing what Naruto's goal was to sleep with as many women as he can, but he never knew that Naruto was already making works of things. As Sakura was surprised, as she wondered how do they even know each other? How did he just kiss her like that? Even Sasuke was wondering what was going on. Haku had her head down as she was blushing red. Before anyone could say anything though, 3 flashes could be seen as 3 blurs landed right on the bridge. Everyone turned their head to look who it was. The moment that Zabuza noticed who the people were, he clutched onto his blade as he went into a fighting stance. Sasuke and Sakura walked over as Haku lifted up her head, wondering how did they find them. Zabuza-san said a voice. As the person stepped forward, Zabuza held on to his blade. Well, it seems like you finally found me, he said. Ayo. In front of them were 3 Miss Ninja, Ayo, Kojo, and Misumi. Another Miss Ninja. He had long black hair, brown eyes, as he was wearing the standard Chonin vest. As he looked over at Zabuza. It's been a long time, Ayo said as he stepped forward. Yeah, a couple of years now, said Zabuza. Haku stepped forward in front of Zabuza. Don't worry, Zabuza-sama. I'll protect you with my life, she said. We're not here to fight, said Kojo. What? Said Zabuza. Well, you see, we've been looking for you for a long time. Not to fight, but to bring you back to the village. And why would I go back there just to die? The war is over, Zabuza. It has been for some time now. The village is going under some reconstruction, but everything is going back to normal. And a new Mizukage has been selected, Mei Terumi. Zabuza's eyes went wide, as he remembered Mei Terumi when she was just a youngster. And he also remembered when he saved her life from those ninja who was trying to kill the people with bloodlines. She has sent us to escort you back to the village. Your crimes of trying to assassinate the former Mizukage has all been pardoned. And she would love to have you back in the village. And why should I believe you, said Zabuza. Ayo pulled out a scroll as he threw it towards Zabuza, who caught it. Unrolling the scroll, Zabuza read it. What is it, Zabuza-sama? Asked Haku. As he gave it to Haku, as it was a letter and stamp from the Mizukage herself, asking for them to return. Well, Zabuza. As Haku looked down, as Zabuza placed a hand on her shoulder. I know what you're thinking and don't be a fool. Of course you're coming as well, he said. She looked up and smiled, because she just realized that Zabuza's name was the only one on that scroll. What if he's the only one that they want back, and they didn't want her there? As she just smiled at him. So how, said Zabuza. How exactly did you find me? Actually, we got a tip. A tip from who? Actually, I have no idea. He was wearing a mask. He just informed us where you were a couple days ago. Haku looked over, as she noticed Naruto was talking to a young boy over there. He then looked back at her as he gave her a small wink. Seeing that made her smile, as she remembered what he said, that he will get them back home and help them. Could he be the one that did this? Why? As she wondered why was he going so far? For them. She touched her lips 2 times now that he kissed her, and her entire body shaked the 2 times. as her entire self feels flustered just thinking about it. She shook her head. Why was she thinking so much about him? Zabuza turned around. Well, Kakashi, he said, I have to thank you for not killing me. As Kakashi looked over, well, no problem, seeing that we're no longer enemies. As Naruto stepped forward, and you, brat, said Zabuza, I have to thank you for not allowing Haku to do anything stupid. You don't have to thank me about that, said Naruto. Why would I allow such a beautiful girl as her to die? As Haku blushed hearing that. Don't get any funny ideas, brat, said Zabuza. Overprotective father much, said Naruto. As he looked down at Haku. Well, I guess so, he said. As Haku was like a daughter to him, and he wouldn't want to lose her, no matter what. Well then, I suppose we must get going. As Haku gave him a small bow, as she turned towards Naruto, with a small frown on her face, as she wondered if this was the last time she was going to see him. But Naruto beat her to that. Don't worry, Naruto said. This won't be the last time he will see me. I promise you on that. And how exactly do you know that, she asked. Well, just trust me, he said, as he gave her a small wink. Thank you again, she said. If it wasn't for you, things would have turned out rather bad. You don't have to thank me, Naruto said, as he smiled at her. But, he says, he stepped forward. He reached up to her ears and whispered something that made her turn red like a tomato before she backed off him. As everyone could see that she was clearly flustered. If you want to thank me in some way, you can do that, he said, as Haku turned her back and started to walk off. What did he say? Asked Zabuza. As Haku shook her head, not telling Zabuza what he said. As Zabuza glared at Naruto. You better watch yourself, brat, he said. Oh, I did not say anything bad, said Naruto. But he had a smirk on his face as he was looking at Haku walk away. And with that they went off with the Kiri ninjas. As Naruto turned towards the people at the bridge, as Gato was bound in chains. Yes, they didn't kill him. They were going to make him suffer. They were going to lock him in prison for all that he did. Yes, they felt like that would be more of a torture, to make him realize that he's nowhere near his money or his wealth, anything to back him up. Well, I suppose we should start on finishing this bridge, said Tazuna. Time skip. 2 weeks later. Do you really have to go already? Asked Inari. Naruto ruffled Inari's head. Don't worry, we will see each other soon again. As Naruto was walking by, there was a lot of girls there. A lot of them screaming out his name, as they heard that he was the one that defeated Zabuza and his crew. As he just smiled at them, flashing them a smile that made most of them blush. As he said goodbye to Tazuna, and the other Konoha ninjas did as well. As they all waved them off, as everyone cheered them off as they left, they hit a wave. Hey, what should we name the bridge? Asked a random civilian. What about the Great Tazuna Bridge, said Tazuna. No way, one of them said. Hey, why not? I was one who was a big part of making this bridge. Hey, what about the blonde-haired kid, Naruto? He did help a lot with his clones. I believe we should name it after him. He was the one that gave us Gato after all. Yeah, said Inari. How about the Great Naruto Bridge? Tazuna grumbled, as he heard everyone cheer. Fine, he said. The Great Naruto Bridge it is. Hours later, the Konoha ninjas were jumping from tree branch to tree branch. They were making good time, not walking with a civilian. They were currently in the Fire Nation. Before hearing an explosion as the group came to a stop. What was that? Said Sakura. Kakashi looked around, as he didn't say anything. Sasuke activated his Sharingan, as he's been flaunting it ever since he got it. Scanning the area. You know your eyes are not the Byakugan, right? Said Naruto. You can't just see what is going on. Shut it, dope, said Sasuke. As Naruto said nothing as he just looked around. They then heard screaming, as they saw someone running in the bushes. They were above the branches. Naruto then jumped down. Meanwhile, a girl. She had long, blonde hair, beautiful green eyes. She looked to be around 13 to 14. As she was running, she had a few cuts on her body, but nothing too major. There was a few rips in her dress. And the way she dressed, she looked very elegant, like a noble or something. She wasn't looking where she was going, just running as fast as she can, and she looked behind her, looking if she was being chased. The moment she turned back around, something jumped down right in front of her, as she hit right into it. Before she could fall though, she felt a pair of arms wrapped around her waist. Thinking that it was a person that was chasing her, she lashed out her fist to fight back. But the person simply grabbed her hand with his other hand. One of his hands was holding her, so she had the other hand free as she smashed it right into his face. But she didn't feel him waver or anything, he didn't even move. She slowly opened her eyes. A dread of relief washed over her when she noticed his headband. As she moved away her hand, with a sorry look on her face. As Naruto looked at the girl who just punched him right in the face. Well, it didn't really hurt. It was then that she saw other ninjas landed. Noticed their headband. Thank God, she said. Konoha ninjas. She didn't realize that he was still holding on to her. She blushed a bit. You can release me now, she said. As Naruto released her, she stood on her feet, but Naruto could see that she was having discomfort. As she took a deep breath in and out, looking around. What happened to you? Sakura asked. My convoy. It was attacked recently, she said. I was coming back from a meeting. Konoha ninjas, I asked for your assistance to deliver me back to the fire mansion. Who are you? Sasuke said, as he looked over the girl. Meanwhile, Kakashi was surprised. Being to the Fire Nation and talking to the fire leader, the daimyo. He's been there a few times and seen his daughter. But are you the Fire Lord's daughter? Asked Kakashi. Exactly. I apologize for my demeanor. My name is Ren. The daimyo's daughter? Said Sakura. She was surprised, thinking that whoever did this was stupid enough to try and hurt the daimyo's daughter. What were they thinking? Especially in the Fire Nation. What exactly happened? Said Naruto. Well, I was returning back from a meeting on my father's behalf. This was supposed to be a secret, so we did not travel with so much guards. The area was scanned before we left, but after arriving in the forest, we got attacked by Silver and his band. Kakashi narrowed his eyes as Sakura asked, who is Silver? I know of them, said Kakashi. They are one of the most notorious bandits group. Yes, said Ren. They have done a lot of heinous crime and they have not been able to be judged for them because they always escape and always do all these terrible things. I was traveling along my 3 guards when it happened, and my personal guard Keo told me to run, and I had no other choice but to run, as you can see from the state I'm in right now. You guys seem to be well-fit ninjas. Can you please help rescue my guards? Are you sure they're even alive? Said Sasuke. I know they are. They wouldn't just fall like that easily. And it just happened a few minutes ago. If you guys hadn't arrived, I would have surely been taken. My father will be very generous to you guys, please. As she turned and looked, I have to recover Keo, she said. As Naruto looked at her, she was very concerned about this Keo guy. He looked over at Kakashi, as Kakashi looked at his group. Well, they couldn't really just deny a request from the Fire Lord's daughter like that. And what kind of hell would happen if they denied this request? They were Konoha ninjas after all, living in the Fire Nation borders. Naruto created a clone, as the clone then kneeled down in front of Rin. Get on, said Naruto. Pardon me, she said. I am very much able to walk on my own. She then stepped forward as she went down on her knees, wincing in pain. It seems the adrenaline has wear off, said Naruto. Your ankle is twisted if you didn't notice. As she looked down. What, you want to walk on that ankle? Naruto asked. She looked over the clone as she went over. Fine, she said, as he propped her up. As Naruto looked over. Alright, you two stay here and watch her, along with my clone. Kakashi, let's go. What the hell? Who gave you leadership, dope? Said Sasuke. You guys will just slow us down, said Naruto. And besides, if we're going in hot and blazing. And these bandits will fight back to kill. And we won't need any slip up, or someone will die. We can't do this as well, we are ninjas, you know, said Sakura. Don't blame me if you die, said Naruto as he walked off. As Kakashi sighed. There go Naruto again with that attitude. But he was right. Judging from the situation he has seen so far, Naruto wasn't above killing. And judging from Sasuke and Sakura's attitude, he could tell they hadn't killed anyone since they left the academy. They were still fresh genin after all. But what made Naruto so easy to kill? That was confusing him every time. But not wasting anything else, they all went off with the clone, carrying Ren at the back. Hurry up, she said. I want to see what is going on. Why would I hurry up, the clone said. You're just gonna be in more danger if I go up ahead. She realized that he was right, but she was worried about her personal guard Ko. He was always there for her, even when her father was never there, seeing that he was always busy with business and all that. As they went through the forest, coming up on a stop, the clone shushed her, as he was still complaining for him to go faster. As they came to a stop, to see the bandit group. The place had blood spilled everywhere. As Naruto could see at least 3 men dressed out in the Fire Daimyo outfit. The guard outfit was fighting, but they were heavily outnumbered, surrounded by a few. As a man was sitting there, he had long silver hair. He had an X cut on his chin. As he was smiling. Still haven't lost hope yet, boys, he said. Can't you see you're surrounded? Well, it doesn't matter, the girl is all out there all alone. It will only be a matter of time before she gets tired and wants to rest. And my man will find her. So it doesn't matter what you do. You will not lay a hand on her, said Chaos. He stepped forward his blade. And what exactly are you gonna do? Silver asked, as he smirked. Alright boys, tear them to pieces. Alright guys, said Kakashi. I want you to... Kakashi-sensei, said Sakura. Kakashi turned. Naruto, he's gone. Kakashi sighed, as he then looked down. Nice party, said Naruto as he looked around, as all the attention turned towards him. Come on, a big group of bandits like you guys, beating up on some 3. Already beaten. Fire Lord, bodyguard protection. And I can see that you have already killed some of them. Rather ruthless of you people. And who might you be, boy? You must be really stupid, or just that arrogant to step foot inside my camp, said Silver. Oh, so you're the boss, said Naruto. Silver, is it? I see, even the younger generation know my name. I'm getting quite famous. Well, you are one of the notorious bandits around here. I must say, this girl you're going after, you know, I found her. I currently have her in my possession. Ren looked over at the group, as she wondered why was he telling him that. She looked at their headbands. Yeah, they were Konoha ninjas. They wouldn't sell her out like that for money, would they? No, they couldn't. As Kakashi wondered what the hell Naruto was doing. Oh, said Silver. And where might she be? But I must ask first. What happened when you get her? Are you gonna ransom her up for money or something? Of course. The Fire Daimyo is loaded. And I'm sure that you will do whatever it takes to get his daughter back. So, yes, money and other things. What do you say you give me a piece of the cut and I'll give you back the girl? Well, if you truly have her in your possession, that would be great. Other than my man going out to hunt for her. I can't give you a piece of the cut. Oh really now, said Naruto, you really do that? Ko then shouted, Konoha ninja, what are you doing? You will be fearfully executed for this. Do you know who you are speaking of? Yes, that girl. Her name is Ren, right? As Ko clenched his fist, what was this boy doing? He was willing to betray the Fire Daimyo and let this man take his daughter. Silver chuckled. You know, you're one strange kid. I never thought that Konoha ninjas would be this easy to sell out. Well, I'm kind of different from any other ninja, said Naruto. So do we have a deal? As Naruto raised his hand, Silver raised his hand. Yes, as soon as we get the girl, I shall give you a cut. As Silver was about to shake Naruto's hand, it was then that he heard intense screaming of pure, agonizing pain. Kakashi was looking all over the area as he noticed all of Naruto clones, all of them in a section of the bushes where they couldn't be seen. It was then that Silver Man started to drop like flies, puncture wounds tearing through their chests and their back, as a blade made from pure wind just ripped through them like nothing. Silver looked around in shock, as Naruto smiled. What is going on, said Silver as he saw his man dropping like fly. As Ko looked over, he then noticed some of the clones start to walk out, resembling the boy. Was this a ruse, a plan? As Naruto smiled, it had taken me a while to get my clones in the right positions. You little brat, said Silver. Do you know what you have done? Kill some of your lackeys, said Naruto. I'm sure you have more out there hiding or someplace. But it doesn't matter, because without a leader, they will all fall apart. Silver clenches fists as the man pulls something from his back, a long sheathted blade. You think that just because I'm a bandit, I do not know how to fight? You should know something about me, boy. I was trained to be a ninja. And just you alone, even with these three. None of you can take me, he said. Oh, is that so? Said Naruto as he pulled one of his blades. Well, let's see what you got. Silver unsheathed a rather large blade as he swung it down towards Naruto. The blade clashed against Naruto's blade, creating sparks everywhere, as Silver was bringing down his monstrous strength on Naruto. As Naruto simply smiled. Whoa, you are a bit strong, Naruto said. But compared to the boss, you aren't that strong. Silver's eyes went wide compared to the... He couldn't get a finish that sentence, as he saw the world being turned upside down, as he wondered what was going on, before his head dropped to the ground at a loud thud. As Silver realized his head, as his entire body went limp and collapsed over as well, as his head was separated from his neck. Naruto flashed his blade as the blood flashed away off it, as the clone that was talking to Silver the entire time poofed away along with the other clones. As Naruto walked over towards Silver's head, pulling out a scroll and sealed away Silver's head, as Kakashi noticed that. He now realized why Naruto said that he didn't have to worry about Reiga, so he took Reiga's head as well and destroyed the body. Knowing that they were quite valuable, as Silver was wanted through the Fire Nation, and Reiga wasn't missing in after all. Kyo looked around as he saw all the dead bodies. He then heard his name, Kyo-san, as the two men behind him took a sigh of relief, realizing that they were now safe. As he saw Ren, she was being carried on the back of one of these boys. Well, a duplicate of him. As he rushed over. Are you okay, my lady? He asked. Yes, I'm fine. These guys, they saved me. As Naruto walked over after sheathing his blade. I must apologize there, said Kyo. I thought that you were going to be betraying us. I deeply apologize. Oh, it's nothing to worry about, said Naruto, as Kakashi and others were there. As Kyo turned towards him. Can I ask for your assistance in helping us get back to the capital? As you can see, we're not in the state to even fend off against the smallest attackers. Kakashi nodded. It will be my pleasure, he said. As the group started to walk, as Naruto caught up with his clone, as he gave the clone a nod. As the clone allowed Ren to get down, to her confusion, as he poofed away. What is it? She asked. Oh, I'll be carrying you from now on, said Naruto. Why the change? She asked. No reason, Naruto said. Well, having a beautiful girl like you on my back, it wouldn't be an awful thing, now would it? She blushed a bit here and that. Well, thank you for the compliment, she said. But are you sure that I won't weigh you down? Come on, you're not that heavy, Naruto said. As she crawled up on his back, as he started to walk with her, with Kyo giving Naruto a keen eye the entire time, but Naruto paid him no mind. As it took a while, but they finally got there. You know, for a kid, you're really strong. You've been walking with me this entire time, and you haven't stopped to rest. I guess that is one of the perks of being a ninja, said Ren. Well, and having your boobs pressed up in my back, said Naruto. Ren blushed a deep shade of red, as she didn't know what to say. But Naruto turned his head. Don't worry, I like it, he said, making her blush even more, as she went silent the entire trip there. The moment they arrived, they were stopped, but after noticing that the girl was there, they were instantly let inside after a word from Kyo. As the fire daimyo was alerted. The moment they stepped inside, all of them looked around, including Sasuke. The place was beautiful. They had beautiful streams that were golden, as it was the decor of the palace. Golden tiles, making the place look rather beautiful. The place was surrounded by a lot of soldiers ready to protect their daimyo with their life. There was then a shout could be heard, as they heard footsteps rushing towards them. Ren slowly attached herself from Naruto as she stood there, unable to run because her ankle was still twisted. As her father rushed up to her and grabbed her, spinning her around a tight hug. As she hugged back her father. I'm so happy that you're alright, he said. As he broke the hug. You are alright, he asked. As the man looked at her, "Yeah, Dad, I'm fine," she said. "It's only my ankle," she said, as she tried to move around but she winced in pain. The man then called out quickly as someone came over. "Get my daughter to her lounge and make sure someone is there to tend to her ankle." "Yes, sir," as she was taken away. As the man turned and looked at the Konoha ninjas, he had blonde hair like his daughter, and he had green eyes, but his hair was short. He looked to be in his late 40s. As he looked at them with a smile, before turning towards Kyo, "Kyo, who are these ninjas?" he asked. "Well, sir," said Kyo as he started to explain everything. While Kyo was talking, Naruto noticed a man came beside the daimyo. He had short black hair, brown eyes. It was then the fox made contact with him. "Hey kid, remember I told you I could feel the emotions? And because of me tapping into you, you can feel it as well, right?" "Yeah," said Naruto. "So what's up with this guy?" he asked Kurama. "Well, the resentment aren't to you Konoha ninjas. It is mostly towards that man right there, the daimyo as you call him, and also his daughter." Well, Kyo did say that no one's supposed to know about this trip, and the reason why they had such less man is because it was supposed to be a secret. So I wonder if this was a setup. Well, if anyone was to set things up, I believe it was that one, right there. "Well then, I guess I have to do something about it," said Naruto. "What exactly?" Kurama asked. "Just watch and see," Naruto said, as he pulled out his ink and his brush, pulling out a small piece note. "Naruto Baka, what are you doing?" said Sakura, knowing that you should be formal in these kind of situations, but Naruto wasn't even paying attention. But seeing that Kei was still talking to the daimyo, "Naruto, Sakura is right," said Kakashi. "This isn't just any normal person. This is a leader of the entire Fire Nation. You have to not do any of your idiotic antics right here and show proper respect." "Don't worry," Naruto said, "I'm just helping out." "Helping out with what?" Kakashi asked. "Oh, you just wait and see," said Naruto. After getting all the information from Kei, the Fire Daimyo turned towards the Konoha ninjas. "I must thank you all," as he had a smile on his face. "Given from the information Keo just told me, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be seeing my daughter today. I am all in your debt," he said, with a smile on his face. Naruto realized that the daimyo was quite noble, as most noble people like this would look down on them for him being a daimyo and all, and wouldn't give them so much respect. But seems that the man truly loved his daughter. He smiled to himself. "Hey daimyo-san," Naruto said. "What is it, boy?" he asked. "Well, isn't this trip supposed to be a secret?" "Yes. It was supposed to be a secret through and through, but I am unsure. How did the Silver Gang know my daughter was going to pass through that area?" "Keo, you did have the premises checked, right?" "Yes. That was the strange thing about this trip." "Well, I have an idea," said Naruto. "Oh? And what is it, boy?" the daimyo asked. Naruto pulled 4 kunais as all of the guards got on high alert before he thrust them forward. They slammed right into the man right beside the daimyo, pinning into his shirt and his leg pants. As they pinned him to the wall, the man known as Renji shouted, "What the hell is this?" he said. "Do you know what you are doing, boy?" The daimyo also turned to Naruto. "Konoha ninja, you have gained my respect for protecting my daughter. Do not lose it by doing something stupid as this. What are you doing?" As Naruto was already surrounded, Kakashi sighed as he looked over at Naruto. Knowing who this man was, if things turned bad, this was going to be a bad, messed up situation. Even Sakura was pale as she read about this man in the book. He was the one that actually controlled the Fire Nations. He was the one that sometimes gave the Hokage talk. So for Naruto to disrespect him in this manner, even Sasuke was kind of confused. "If you just let me explain," said Naruto as he raised his hand in defense, as he had the paper tag in his hand. As all of them pointed at him, the guards, their weapons already pointed at his face. Keo looked at him. This boy, while strange, he showed that he is loyal to Konoha. "I don't believe that he will try to hurt you, my lord." As Keo didn't know why he said that, but he could tell that this boy, despite some weird actions, he was genuinely willing to help them. "So what is this kind of madness that you're doing?" asked the daimyo. "Well, you see that guy over there? He is the one that betrayed you. Renji looked at him. This is preposterous. My lord, do not believe this commoner. I do not know what his game is, but you need to dispatch him right now. As the daimyo looked at Naruto rather confused. Renji has been one of my advisors for many years now. He would never do something like that. Alright then, just give me 5 seconds, and then we'll see who's still in the line or to ask. I know exactly you're gonna do that, the daimyo asks, still wary of Naruto. As Naruto looked at him, well, I can't really do anything because of these guards. The daimyo raised his hand. Renji's eyes went wide. My lord! The daimyo turned and looked at Naruto with a stern glare. If you are wrong, then you have disrespected one of my noble advisors, and you will be executed. Sakura paled here and that. Even Sasuke was surprised, as Kakashi still didn't say anything, as he didn't know what to say. This situation was just becoming worse and worse. But Naruto couldn't be executed, as he had the 9 tails inside of him, and that would just be bad for the Fire Nation. But if they were able to take it from him, but that would just be a hassle, because no one had the proper Fuinjutsu knowledge to seal it inside of someone else. Things were just getting more bad and bad. What the hell was Naruto thinking, Kakashi thought? You can kill me if I fail, said Naruto. The daimyo was now intrigued for the boy to put his life on the line like this. But why? Why would Renji? He shook his head. Proceed, he said, as the guard stepped aside. As Naruto stepped forward, but the guard still had a keen eye on him. Hold out your hand, he said. Renji looked at the boy. This is preposterous. Let me go, he said. As Naruto just grabbed his hand and placed a seal on it, Renji's eyes then went wide, as they became hazy, like he was caught under some illusion. Alright then, ask him, Naruto said. Ask him what? Asked Ren as she came back out, with the guard that her father sent her with. I believe this man is the one that betrayed you all, said Naruto. Renji? But why would he do that, she asked. Naruto turned towards Renji. Why did you, he asks. A spoiled little girl like her doesn't deserve the responsibilities that she has been getting. She doesn't deserve to talk under the daimyo lord behalf. I am the only one that is responsible for doing those things. She's not even worthy. She's just a spoiled little brat, he said, his eyes still hazy. Everyone's eyes went wide. What is this, said Keo. It's a seal in a ray, to make one tell their deepest, darkest truth. And right now his mind is hazy, but he's talking from the bottom of his heart, what he truly wished and truly desire. Once I get rid of her, I will get back my rightful spot, me being talking under the Lord's behalf, not this spoiled little brat. So you're willing to have his daughter killed, said Naruto, to get back your position? Of course. And also the Silver Gang, of the man that the Fire Daimyo meet them himself. And he would have gone because of how much he loved his daughter. Seeing that, I am his closest advisor. If anything to happen to him, I would be the one to give the orders until someone new is selected. Someone that I would be the one in charge of grooming, to take control of them before anything happened, for them to be loyal to me and listen to my word. And then I will be in control of the Fire Nation, he said. Naruto ripped off the seal, as Renji blinked a few times. What just happened? The daimyo walked up. Before Renji knew what was happening, a fist connected right into his face, as his head jerked by the force. You bastard, daimyo said. For the first time in a long while, he was losing his cool. Guards, take him to the dungeon. No, my lord, let me explain, said Renji, as the guards took him away kicking and screaming. Sorry about that, daimyo-san, said Naruto. It is not your fault, boy. And for all you have done for me, you can call me Raza, he said. Sure thing, Raza-sama, said Naruto. Thank you, said Raza. Even given the boy's name, the boy still called him with proper respect. I can't believe it. As Ren hopped over, as she hugged her dad. We wouldn't have known, she said. But he really... As she looked down, saddened. It's not your fault. After all these years, to think that someone was your friend, and for them to turn and betray you like that. As Raza clenched his fists, Kakashi released a sigh of relief, realizing that everything worked out in good hands. But this was a risky move. But Naruto was lucky that everything worked out well. As Raza then turned, He then took a full look at Kakashi. "Ah, Kakashi-san," he said, as Kakashi nodded. As Kakashi has been here multiple times on his own orders, deliver something to the daimyo. "I must say I haven't seen you in a long while." "Well, I've been given my own team now. I've been recently doing missions with them," said Kakashi. "Oh, so this is your little team?" "Yes. Let me introduce you. The one over there is Naruto Uzumaki. This one is Sasuke Uchiha. And Sakura Haruno." "Ah, a pleasure, Naruto Uzumaki." As Naruto nodded, "And you are the last Uchiha. I've heard great talks about you." "And a pleasure there, Sakura Haruno," he said. "Nice to meet you, sir," said Sakura, showing a polite bow. "I must thank you all for what you have done, especially you, Naruto Uzumaki. If it wasn't for you, this would have continued on. I must repay you guys in some way." "No, it is our duty," said Kakashi. But Naruto cut him off. "Well, we did kind of save your daughter, and did kind of free you of someone who was trying to take your job and all that, so you do kind of owe us, don't you?" "Well, in a way, yes," said Raza, as he saw a smile come on Naruto's face. You are the Fire Daimyo, one of the richest men in the Fire Nation. I must say that's quite something big." "What are you getting at, Uzumaki-san?" asked Raza. "Oh, nothing," Naruto said. "I'm just merely speculating." "So you want to repay us for what we have done?" "Yes, if there's anything I can help with, I will sure to be of great help." Well then, how about giving me 100 million thousand Ryu? A mansion that is big as this. And I also get a kiss from your daughter, said Naruto. As everyone blinked in surprise, the place was silent, as they all looked at Naruto, wondering if they just heard correctly. This was just an honor for him to offer them something, and they should just deny, seeing that he was a Fire Lord and everything. But Naruto really requested something, making the Fire Daimyo even look at him even more curiously. People has always said that he was their honor, but this boy, and what the hell did he just ask for? That was just beyond ridiculous. But before anyone could say anything, Naruto shrugged. Well, I guess that is too much. Well, you don't have to worry about it. Let's just say you will owe me a favor for what I did. A favor? Said Raza. Yeah. Just say in the future, you're gonna owe me a favor. Well, as long as it is not anything too hectic, and anything that will discriminate my name, and anything bad, I suppose I can owe you a small favor. Well, that would be good, said Naruto, as he walked back over to his group, as he gave him a small bow. Raza was still looking at this boy, as this boy was the most curious boy he's ever seen so far. He showed respect, but he also talk and speak on his own manner. It was quite interesting to see someone behave this way in front of him, especially when most people always behave in indignant ways, to show their respect and always kind of worried in fear, thinking that if they do something wrong, he would probably have them executed or have them banned from the Fire Nation or something like that. But yet this boy was completely different. It made his interest peak. As Ren was over in the corner blushing, did he just ask her dad if he could kiss her? That seemed to fly over everyone's head. As Raza looked outside, it seems like the time is getting late, he said. I must offer you all to stay here for the night before returning to Konoha tomorrow. I believe that is where you were going. Yes, we were just coming back from a mission, said Kakashi. Alright then. Raza clapped his hand as someone came over, placed them all in one of the most luxurious rooms, and made sure they get a well-night good rest. Nothing to hold back. They have all done wonderful work today. Of course, my lord. If you can all come this way. As they were all taken away. Hours later, Naruto was in a very large room, as he was sitting on a rather comfy bed. The place was luxurious. Each of them got a room. It seems like Kakashi had nothing to complain about anymore, as he was just in his room reading that porn over again. As Naruto was in nothing but his boxers, his long golden hair, over to the side of the bed as he was lying on the edge, just looking up at the ceiling. There was a giant flat screen TV over towards the wall, but nothing good was on. He then heard a knock on his door. Who is it? He said. Hello there, Uzumaki-san. It's me, Ren. May I come in? As the door was pushed open, as Naruto saw Ren, even dressed for sleeping. She was wearing an exotic gown that went straight down for her to sleep in, as it was silver, shimmering a bit, like there were silver strips on it. As Naruto couldn't help but stare. Can you not stare that hard? She asked. Oh, sorry about that, said Naruto, but I must say you look quite beautiful. She blushed red. Oh, thank you, she said. I am just here to thank you once again for what you did for me, and weeding out that traitor. If it wasn't for you, he would still be here, and plotting for me to get hurt in some way, and my father as well. So what do you think will happen to him? Well, of course my father will have him executed for what he has done. But he deserved it after all he did, right? She looked saddened by that. Why are you saddened to ask? He tried to hurt you. I know, but I don't really like hurting people. But you defeated those men and killed them all today. Wasn't that hard? Nah, not really, said Naruto. It's a part of being a ninja. A ninja. I suppose that is kind of fun. What do you mean, Naruto asks? Well, for my entire life, I wasn't permitted to go really anywhere. Always just with my father by his side. Recently, since I got older, my father's been sending me, so I can get accustomed with the business, signing treaties and all that. But everything has been going well up to this point. But yeah, being a ninja, fighting bad guys and protecting the ones you love, I suppose that is nice. Yeah, to some extent, said Naruto, except for the part of dying. Huh? She said. Well, you can die at any time being a ninja, but it's just part of the fun. Part of the fun? She said, confused. Yeah, just me and my crazy attitude, he said. Yes, you are quite goofy, but that just makes you even more charming. Oh, so you think I'm charming, Naruto asked. She blushed and looked down. She didn't realize what he was wearing, as it made her face become red like a tomato as he got off the bed. She couldn't help but stare a bit as she tried to look away, but her eyes didn't want to. For someone this young, his body was quite ripped, as she could see formation of a six-pack, even see pecs, and his long hair just coming down make him even look more even gorgeous, as he was in his underwear. As she refrained her eyes from looking down though, but Naruto stepped rather close to her, until he stepped behind her and locked the door. What are you doing, Uzumaki-san? She said. Well, I do believe in the movies. When you save the princess, she always reward you with a kiss. Movies? She said. Yeah, and seeing that your dad is the kind of the king of the Fire Nation, that would make you the princess, right? Well, I suppose so, she said, looking down. But what does that have to... She was startled when he grabbed her on the waist, as she looked up at him. Well, I wasn't joking about the getting a kiss from your daughter part. She didn't move, as she didn't feel like she could. This person, he was just so bold, taking her in his arms like this, as she felt flustered all over. Well, can I? He asked. She didn't know what came over her, but she nodded, as he pulled her into a kiss. She felt her entire body got hot, as his arms roamed around her back, making her shiver. It went on like this for a good full minute, before he breathed the kiss. As she was just standing there with a stunned look on her face, he walked back over to the bed and lay down. She touched her lips. As she didn't even know what to say to him. You know, you're a good kisser, said Naruto. That was very pleasant. A wonderful kiss from a wonderful person. Was it that good? She asked. Yes, it was, said Naruto. Well, I suppose I'll see you tomorrow before you leave, Uzumaki, she said, talking really fast, as her face was intensely red, realizing the situation that she was in. Yeah, I suppose so, said Naruto, as she quickly left the room. Coming outside, she locked his door. As she went down, he just kissed me, she said, still shaking a bit. He was just so forward and blunt, and it made her like him even more about that, his attitude. As she quickly rushed to her room. As that was going on, Kakashi was outside of his room, just coming back from the bathroom. As he saw the princess running from Naruto's room, with a blush on her face. As he shook his head, his student is up to it again. Back inside the room. That's already 2, said Kurama. Yeah, only 2, said Naruto. Well, I was kind of a goofball around this age. It only started to get more epic when I got older, so yeah, I suppose this is good progress for now. I wonder, where it will take me though, he thought to himself. The next morning, as the group was outside, "Thank you for all your assistance again," said Raza. "Don't mention it," said Kakashi. "We are here to help," he said. As Raza nodded, as Ren was out there, she was trying not to look at Naruto because of what transpired last night. When she felt someone wrap their arms around her, as her eyes went wide, realizing her father was right there. "Maybe we can do this again sometime," he whispered in her ear. As she did not react, as she was scared to look over at her father, as Naruto backed away. "It was a pleasure meeting you again," Naruto said, giving her a small bow, as Raza had his eyes on Naruto. To see that him and his daughter become quite acquainted over just one day. "And you too, Raza-sama," said Naruto, as Raza nodded to Naruto. "Well then, we should get going." "Thanks for your hospitality again," said Sakura. "Don't mention it," said Raza, as Sasuke just gave them all a nod. As Kakashi turned towards his group, "Thank you again," he said, as they all turned to leave. As Naruto waved behind him, waving them off. As Raza looked over to his daughter, "Ren," he said. "Oh, yes father," she said. "That Naruto fellow, he's quite a strange one, isn't he?" "Yeah, a really strange one," she said. And with that the group headed off. It took some time, but seeing that they were hopping fast, they arrived near to Konoha really quickly. As Sakura has been complaining the entire way. What if he wasn't so nice? And you had done something stupid and got us all killed? Well, me and Kakashi Sensei and probably Sasuke would have probably survived and got out of there. But I assure that you would have died. So yeah, not really a big deal, huh? She's right, Naruto. You shouldn't just be so casual with everyone, you know that. He's a daimyo after all. Yeah, but he was a good guy, so we have nothing to worry about, said Naruto. And also, Sasuke doesn't have any complaints. So Sakura, you shouldn't be angry at me, because look at Sasuke. He's not complaining. So if you're complaining, Sasuke's gonna think that you're quite just annoying. Sakura paled as she looked over at Sasuke as he realized he wasn't complaining to Naruto or anything. Was Naruto right? She quickly went quiet. As Kakashi sighed, Sakura was too in love with Sasuke. Look how quickly that shut her up. But he didn't say anything as they arrived at the gates. Katetsu and Izumo looked out. "Ah, Kakashi. Team 7. I expect the mission went well," said Katetsu. As Izumo smiled. "Yo, Naruto, what's up?" he said. "Oh, nothing much," said Naruto. "And of course the mission's a success. After all, look who's on the team. Me, Naruto Uzumaki after all." As Izumo shook his head. "Yeah, I suppose so." Before anyone else could say anything, Naruto was grabbed from behind. "Oh, my favorite little blonde kid," said Uncle. As Naruto turned his face around, as his face was buried into Uncle's bosom, as he started to move his head back in front. Katetsu and Izumo's eyes went wide, as Kakashi came over. "Huh, how?" said Katetsu. "It seems the kid has game," said Kakashi. "But how?" said Katetsu. "We must be dreaming," said Izumo. It was then that two others landed. It was Yujeo and Hawk. Both of them were in their Anvu masks. As Anko was wearing a mask. She wasn't really an Anvu after all. She was just tagging along. It was an infiltration mission. Yujeo came over and separated the both of them. "Stop doing weird things like that to him already. And stop enjoying it," she said, looking at Naruto. "Hey, come on, it's not my fault. It's her fault." Yujeo didn't say anything as she hugged him. "I'm glad you're okay," she said, as she breathed the hug. "Well, I'll see you later. We have to report our mission details to the Hokage." "Yeah, see ya," said Naruto. As Uncle Ruff is here. "See ya, kid," she said, as she jumped off, along with Hawk as well. As Naruto turned towards a wide-eyed Katetsu and Izumo. "How?" said Katetsu. "Yeah, just tell us, what's your secret?" Izumo asked. Well, if you stay behind, you're being a gate guard for the rest of your life. I don't think my secrets can help." As Naruto started to walk off, the both of them swearing at him, as he simply chuckled to himself. As Kakashi went off as well. Following behind them, Sakura and Sasuke. As they arrived at the Hokage's tower, the Anvus were already gone, along with Anko. As Kakashi finished telling Sarutobi the mission report. But I do wonder, how did Kiri found out about Zabuza? Asked Sarutobi. Well, I have no idea about that, said Kakashi. But it seems like they meant them no harm. The war in Kiri is over. Yes. But Kiri is still fully isolated. Probably because of your low standing right now. But the Mizukage has sent out word, the new Mizukage, to inform the other nation that she is not against them. Well, that's good, said Naruto. They wouldn't stand a chance given that they just exit the civil war. As Sarutobi turned towards him, Naruto, I know that you like to hit around, but Kakashi was right. Do not play everything so lightly. He was the fire daimyo after all. If things has gone really bad, what would you have done? And tell me something, how did you know that man was a traitor? And what kind of seal did you use? Well, I saw the way he was looking at them, so I just figured that something was wrong. And you bet your life on that? Don't worry, I have a sharp sense to tell whether someone is lying or not, and I can even feel the resentment and the emotions coming off of him. How? Sarutobi asks. Well, Naruto looked at Sasuke and Sakura. What's wrong? Sakura asks. Get out, said Naruto. What do you mean? Said Sakura. You guys aren't high enough to hear this. What? Said Sasuke. You believe that you're higher than us, dope? Yeah, pretty much, said Naruto. As he looked over at Sarutobi and gave him a look. As Sarutobi dismissed the both of them. As Sasuke was pissed. How did the dope had talk over him? Just how? But Sakura really didn't pay it any mind as she went, going after Sasuke to ask him for a date. Kakashi was still in there. So how did you know? Well, it seems like I've inherited something from the fox inside of me. Sarutobi got pale a bit as he looked at Naruto. As Kakashi focused as well. Oh, it's nothing bad, said Naruto. I'm just able to sense negative emotions, and I could feel a lot of it coming from that man. Oh, said Sarutobi. But what about the seal? Something of my own making. That's impossible, said Sarutobi. How were you able to make a seal like that? Well, something you don't really know about me. Yujiro have been giving me works on seal for a long time now, since I was much younger, and I've been taking them all into account and learning as much as I can. It took me years, but I was able to make this seal. It put the user in a state of illusion, making them reveal their deepest, darkest truth within. But if the user has a strong will, they're able to break out of it like a genjutsu. This sounds really impressive, said Sarutobi. I will have to have you talk to Ibiki at the IT department. This would really help a lot in interrogation. I suppose so, said Naruto. As Naruto then pulled out a scroll. What's that? Oh, I have the head of Reiga and silver inside of here. That was another thing, said Sarutobi. How were you able to take down Reiga? Well, just because he's a missing nin and once a 7 ninja swordsman, that doesn't mean he's all that good. Naruto, still. You're just a genin. Well, there's a lot of things you don't know about me, said Naruto. So, can I get paid for these too? Well, the both of them are very wanted. So for you to keep their heads, yes, you can get the bounty for the two of them. Awesome, said Naruto, as he gave Sarutobi the scroll. So I suppose you two have some talking to do. I'll get going, he said, as Sarutobi just gave him a nod. As he went off, Sarutobi took a puff of his pipe as he turned towards Kakashi. It seems that Naruto has changed a lot. As Kakashi nodded, yeah, he has a lot more confidence. And also, I saw the fire daimyo daughter sneaking out of his room. Huh? Yes, in the middle of the night. Sarutobi was surprised to hear that. Well, you wouldn't be so surprised if you heard what Naruto's dream was. What is that? Well, one of his dreams is to sleep with as much girl as possible. What? Sarutobi said. Yes, and he also kissed the girl named Haku that was with Zabuza on the bridge. Sarutobi stood there with a shocked expression on his face, as he wondered when did Naruto turn so bold and, well, it is giving him glances of Jiraiya. That was something that Jiraiya would do or something that Jiraiya would say. As Sarutobi shook his head, Naruto has really changed. I've heard that he's been hanging out with Anko, said Kakashi. Well, Anko does have a tendency. I wonder if it's rubbing off on Naruto, said Sarutobi. I suppose so. Kakashi, you do know about the Chunin exams coming in 2 weeks, right? Kakashi nodded. Do you believe your team would be ready by that time? Well, as I've told you before this, Naruto's skill is far above what they say it was in the academy. I believe that Naruto will be ready, but the other two. Sasuke has been improving, and now that he has his Sharingan, I have a lot more to teach him as well. But Sakura is the one that I'm worried about. She does not really focus on training, mostly focused on her looks. But I'm sure I can get them into shape for the next upcoming 2 weeks. Alright, and if you say so. But be sure to watch Naruto. Judging from what I just heard about him and the fox, it would be a shame if we're here thinking that he's just changed on his own when he's been influenced by the fox. I don't think so. He hasn't shown any dark tendencies. Well, he's not above to kill. Yes, and that's strange. Through and through, Naruto is still a kid. So for him to be able to cut down his opponent like that without battering an eye, I need you to keep a close eye on him and watch him keenly. As Kakashi nodded. But guys, and be any subs right here, go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto Learned the Clone Secret from the beginning and enjoy that. And also stay tuned for What If Naruto Got His Memory Seal Away. And I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was raised by the Hyuga clan. So stay tuned for that, and I'm over now. Peace.